let's begin with some initial research. So what I generally do, I'd go to YouTube and have a look because it's a really good way of getting a visual representation of what we might be looking for, what other people have done in the past. So I just start with cardboard pinball, and there's heaps of good tutorials on here for how it might all go together. So cardboard flipper tutorial, just to give you some ideas. So start by doing some initial research, and what I want you to do, I want you to come up with some very rough sketches. So even if you can't draw very well, I still want you to give it a go. And so what I've just started with doing a little bit of a pictorial view here, and you can notice I've used construction lines. So I've just roughly done 2 little circles. I've put a center line down it. I've kept my verticals vertical and tried to replicate the top and the bottom of the flipper, keeping them parallel. I've also just put a little bit of dowel in there, and also a little block of timber, an arrow just to show the direction. So that was just like a really quick initial idea that I came up from YouTube. And then I thought, how's it going to look as an orthographic sketch? So I've drawn it from the top, so rough circles. You notice I've used different pens. So I've used like a really light lead pencil to get my construction lines happening. Went over it with a fine pen, fine biro, fine point pen. And then I've used a little bit of color. So we've got a little bit of red happening there to show directional arrows. I've used another color as well with the fine point pens to show where the rubber band would be. I've actually written top view. And then I've actually used these little construction lines to project the lines down into the front view. And with that, I put in that I'm going to use a 6mm diameter dowel. I've highlighted the flipper. I've coloured in the plywood playing field. I've annotated where the rubber band's going to go and how that mechanism is going to work. So this is just one option that I've done. Go through and do a couple, like 3 to 4, just looking at all the different ways that it could happen, and stick to one per page. So we're going to have some really rough sketches to begin with, which we're going to improve through using fine point pens and annotations and those types of things. And this will give us something to start with our cardboard prototyping.